If you're a level 6 project controls apprentice, you already know the name of the game is evidencing your behaviors. Well, today we are going to zero in on a big one, B9, innovation. But look, let's forget the boring textbook definitions for a minute. Instead, we're going to follow the story of an apprentice, just like you, to see exactly how you can understand, develop, and, most importantly, prove this skill to smash your EPA. All right, let's get into it. So, let's meet Jody. She's a super talented project controls apprentice over at IBIS Stores, and she's right in the thick of her level 6 qualification. And, like a lot of apprentices, she's hit a bit of a wall with a behavior that just feels, well, a bit vague. It's a word we hear all the time, right? Innovation. But what does it actually mean when you have to do it and prove it? And there it is. That's Jody's million-dollar question. It's not that she's short on ideas or anything. The real challenge, the thing that's keeping her up at night, is figuring out how to capture this concept of innovation and turn it into solid, concrete evidence for her portfolio and that big endpoint assessment. This is such a common hurdle, but the good news? Jody has an absolutely fantastic support network ready to help her clear it. So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to follow Jody every step of the way. First, she'll get the what from her line manager, Riddle. Then she'll get the how from her mentor, Adam. And finally, she'll learn about the proof from her coach, Olivia. By the end of this, we'll see her totally prepped and ready to master that EPA discussion. First stop is a chat with her line manager, Rital. Jody's goal here is simple. She needs a clear, no-nonsense definition of what B9 innovation really means for someone in her role, doing her apprenticeship. She needs to understand the fundamentals. And Rachel just breaks it down perfectly. She explains that, at its heart, B9 isn't about sitting around and waiting for a lightning bolt of inspiration to strike. No, it's about being proactive. It's about actively looking for new ways of working, whether that's new ideas, new methods, or new tech, and it all points to one clear goal: making project controls better and more effective. Now this is a total game changer. Riddle makes this brilliant distinction. She says, for the level 6 standard, nobody's expecting you to invent the next iPhone. It's not about big I, disruptive, change the world innovation. The focus is 100% on small I innovation. We're talking about making smart, thoughtful, evidence-led improvements to the things you're already doing. That's the sweet spot. So here's the crucial point. Your assessor is really looking for a professional process, not just a random brainwave. You can almost think of this as their mental checklist. In their head, they're asking, are you showing you're open to new things? Are you actively learning? Are you properly evaluating the risks and the rewards? And the big one, does this change you're proposing actually add tangible value? And this quote from Riddle just sums it all up. Be curious, absolutely. Be creative, for sure, but you always have to operate within the project's guardrails. Innovation and governance, they aren't enemies. For a true professional, they are essential partners that have to work hand in hand. Okay, Jody is feeling way clearer on the what, so now she needs the how. She sets up a meeting with her mentor, Adam, to build a practical plan for developing this skill. Let's see how he breaks it down for her. Adam maps out this fantastic 4-step path, and honestly, this turns the abstract idea of innovation into a simple, repeatable cycle. It all starts with awareness, just keeping your eyes and ears open. Then comes judgment, actually thinking critically about what you find. That's followed by application, trying it out in a small, safe way. And finally, you circle back with reflection, learning from what happened. It's the perfect loop for continuous improvement. And what's even better, Adam gives Jody actual concrete tasks she can go and do right now. These aren't just thought experiments, these are real-world activities that will build her skills, and just as importantly, they will generate the exact kind of evidence she needs to be logging in her portfolio. It's brilliant. Right, so Jody has the theory from Rital and an action plan from Adam. Now for what might be the most critical piece of the puzzle, proving it all. She sits down with her coach, Olivia, to focus on how to log this work perfectly on her AP10 portfolio. Olivia pulls out this incredibly helpful table. Now, the left column shows the types of evidence you can upload, a reflective statement, an evaluation, and so on. But Olivia stresses that the right column is where the real magic happens. Your evidence can't just be a document. It has to tell a story. What was the idea? Why did you pick it or reject it? What was the actual impact? And what did you learn from it all? So, the huge point Olivia makes is this. Your APTM log is not just a diary of what you did. It's proof of how you think.
The assessor wants to see a professional mind at work. They want to see someone who makes balanced judgments, who is genuinely committed to learning, and who is always, always focused on adding real value.
With Jody's portfolio evidence really starting to take shape, Olivia turns to the final hurdle, that endpoint assessment professional discussion. So she decides to run a mock session with Jody, covering the kinds of questions that are very likely to pop up for B9. First up, a question all about your mindset. This is testing step 1 from Adam's plan, awareness. How do you stay curious? What articles do you read? What webinars do you watch? Who are you talking to in the industry? They want to see that you are actively on the lookout.
Okay, next, they're going to probe your critical thinking. This links directly back to Adam's second step, judgment. How do you weigh the pros and cons? What makes an idea suitable for your project? Right here, right now. They're looking for that considered, analytical approach.
And now you have to get specific. This is where all your hard work on APTEM becomes your storybook. You need to be ready to pull out a real-world example and clearly connect the dots from something new you learned to a tangible, positive result for the project. And finally, here's the question that brings it all full circle, right back to that great advice from Riedel about professionalism. Can you prove that you know how to innovate responsibly? How do you make things better without introducing new risks or, breaking the rules? Olivia then shares this model answer that is absolutely aiming for a distinction. Just listen to how it hits every key theme we've talked about. It shows proactivity, I actively look, careful evaluation, I evaluate suitability, responsible application, introducing improvements responsibly, and a focus on value, enhance insight and effectiveness. It is the entire B9 behavior, summed up in one perfect paragraph. And you can just see Jody's complete transformation here. She went from feeling totally stuck and overwhelmed to having absolute clarity on what's expected of her. She's got an action plan to build her skills, and now she can walk into her EPA with both the evidence and the confidence she needs to succeed. It's fantastic. So that brings the question right back to you. We've seen Jody's journey. We know now that innovation at this level is all about taking those small, smart steps forward. So what is one incremental, evidence-led improvement that you could start exploring in your own work, starting this week?